So right now, my grade 6, we are going to talk about graphic designers and how to use them in our writing and how it can make our writing and comprehension for the stories is super easy. How and what does it mean in the first place a graphic organizer? A graphic organizer are shapes like this, or this, or this, or this shape here. So all of these are a graphic organizer. What does it mean graphic organizer? From its name, a graphic, it means something I draw it with my hands. It's are shapes, maybe squares, maybe circles, maybe triangle, maybe like squares or rectangle, whatever. Any shape that makes you comfortable to use it, use it. But why I use it in the first place? I use it to divide the information in a big text. For example, I have a long, long passage, like the one that we have it in the story, stones, bones, and petroglyphs. Okay? In this story, we have more than 15 page in this story. Okay? So if I want to have petro, just a minute, glyphs. If I want, for example, if I want to tell you what are the most significant information that you find inside the story, or for example, if I came to you and ask you, my girls, I want you to summarize the story of stones and bones and petroglyphs, and when you go for this page or for this story, you will find it contained from 16 page or 15 page. You will come to yourself, how to summarize a story like this? يعني I will write 10 pages or 5 pages just to summarize it for the miss? How would I do it? No, there's an easier way to do it, which is what? A graphic organizer. You will draw a shape like this, and when you draw it, you will put for me the most significant information that you have inside this story. You can write, for example, in one circle right here, you can write the setting. And then in the other circle right here, you can write the characters. And here you can write the genre and the author. And here you can write a little summary of the story. And here you can write your own opinion about it. So you can divide the whole summary of 15 page in just one shape like this with one graphic organizer. So even when the miss wants to read your information, she will be impressed with this thing, and she will like it, and she will give you full mark. Why? Because she understand and she will know that you understand the passage very well, that you organize your ideas to put it in this shape. And it will be easier for me as a teacher when I want to see it. Because what? Because when you organize your thoughts, my thoughts also are organized. I can correct your thoughts in a very easy way. I can correct, is the author correct? Yes, she wrote it correct. Is the setting correct? Yes, she wrote it correct. But if you write it as a whole passage of 5 pages, it's gonna be long for you and long for me and long for everybody, and maybe you will get bored, you will write something wrong. But with the graphic organizer, you can organize your work, your ideas, and write the most important thoughts and focus on it. So this is the importance of having a graphic organizer. Graphic, from its name, it means shapes. Organizer, from its name, it organize your ideas and your thoughts about anything that you want to write. Okay, what about a graphic organizer? Does it come with one shape? No, as I told you. It can come like this or this. Even timeline is considered one of the graphic organizers. So anything that put all your ideas and thoughts in a small shape like this, we call it a graphic organizer. Okay, طيب, I want you right now to open your books in the page 131 and to look to this page right here and this shape. Can you see it with me?
Yeah.
131. This is the page.
Yeah.
Okay, in this shape right here, this is a graphic organizer also, but it doesn't have like circles or anything. It's a timeline. Okay, but in this timeline, what I wrote, I write the time of the years that I want to express some information about history. So instead of writing big passage about, for example, in 550 AD, at that time, we have what? We have a Pueblo people plant beans and write it in a passage. Imagine how the passage will be long. Then I write all of this information. And then I will come at, but in the year 1150, the Pueblo population is in the tens, da, 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 da. I complete the story. So Instead of writing a whole passage with these information like this, lines, 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 no, I can put just one timeline and take the information from this line and put it here. This is at which year happened? At year one. So one. Here, another information I found it here. Oh, at which year? 550. Okay, then 550. I organize my thoughts with only one line, one line, and put the information on it. Here I will mention the information what happened, here what happened, here what happened, and خلاص. When the teacher wants to see this, she will understand what you want to say. She will understand that you understood the story and you mentioned all the important things in this year, and this year. And instead of writing a big, 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 big passage. Understood? So this is the
Yeah.
importance of the graphic sources and a graphic organizers. And it's very important to understand how to make it because, believe it or not, you are going to need it when you go to college and to university. Why? Because in college and university, you are reading massive information and you receive massive information every day, and you have big books, one book of 500 pages. This is one book, one subject. You will have several subjects in the university. Maybe you will have 5 or 6 subjects in each semester. In each subject you will have 500 page, and some of the subject they have several books, more than one book. So imagine how many books that you have each semester or each term. So if I have information from this book that have 500 page, and I have another book that have 500 page and different information about science, and another subject that different information about culture. I have another subject different information about religion. I have another subject different information about language. So how my brain is going to have all of this information and make it stuck in my mind? I can't by only writing passages and articles and paragraphs. I will forget, of course, because the amount of information is massive, it's big. So, what should I do? I should do like this. I should do like graphic organizer. Sometimes I just have to put like this. For example, I have a story about the language and how the language was in the past and now. Then I will put here language, and then I will put here this is in before 1000 years ago what happened, and I mention the information. And then I put like this. After 2000 years, what happened to the language? And I mention information. And this is another information here. So when I want to read it, to study this information for for the test, it will be super easy for you. So instead of reading 5 pages in my book, خلاص, I will come to this graphic organizer because it has all the information inside 5 or 6 pages. I put it in one picture. And you know what? The brain likes the pictures more than the writing. Why? Because subhanAllah, the brain, he likes the visual things most of the time. And especially if you are a visual person, also, if you like to draw, if you like to watch pictures, then your brain likes to study by pictures. So if you put the information that you don't know how to understand it in a picture like this, then it will stuck in your mind. Your mind will suck this information and will not give it away. Why? Because you give it the source that he needed, which is what? A graphic organizer. Understood, my girls? Did anybody
Yes,
try this
miss.
before? Did anybody try this before, a graphic
No.
organizer?
Yeah. No.
Didn't mention it. They didn't mention it. So we will write right here. Let me write it for you. Okay, and then you would say no, because
They didn't mention.
Okay, for about how many years did the Puebloans live in alcoves? For how much years? Just see the timeline and tell me. For about how many years did the Puebloans live in the alcoves? I said in the 1150 years.
1,200.
Okay.
1,000.
They moved to the alcoves. For how many years they stayed there? Who can tell me? For how many years?
One.
How can you count it? By only seeing
I'm
the
waiting.
graphic organizer right here. You can see it and tell me. They moved to the alcove,
Yeah, we
and
can.
then after 100 years in 1300, they left that place and they went to Mexico and Arizona. So how many years they stayed in there in the alcoves? 100 years.
100.
That's how you extract information for about 100 years. How many years passed between the first pithoses and the use of the clay pots for cooking? Now, I want you to go to the timeline and read pithoses and clay pots. How many years passed between?
550.
550. Excellent, yeah. Malak, now you got it. Very good. About 550 years, because from year 1 to 550. Okay, what is one reason the Puebloans might have moved their homes from the mesas to the alcoves in the cliffs?
No resources.
What is one reason the Puebloans might have moved their homes from the mesas, to the what? To the alcoves. Why? What do you think?
Oh, maybe
because maybe of no wait.
maybe because the Puebloans' population is in the tens of thousands, and some villages have multi-story buildings.
No.
Because they don't have multi-story buildings, it's small. There are not many, and they need to chop clay. There's not big buildings.
No.
1,000
No. Remember, the alcoves are inside mountains. So why they put their houses inside mountains?
They was afraid.
Yes, they were afraid. So what they want to do to defend themselves, themselves. So let's go here. And we can say, did you finish this one? Yeah?
Yeah, miss.
Okay. So I can say, to defend themselves from enemies. Number 5. Why do you think the last entry is at 1,300? Why do you think the last information we put in the organizer right here is 1,300? Why?
Because here is
Yes,
the
خلاص,
end.
they left
That Puebloans leave the four corner for other parts and New Mexico. Like this is the end of the
Yeah, because
Yeah,
there
they
was
left.
no other information.
They
There
go.
was no other information about them after they left. And you know what? That's why when you go for Mexico, you will find most of the people there, they are similar to the native peoples who live in America. They are like Indians, you know, الهنود الحمر in America, who lived in America. When you go for Mexico now, you will find that the people who lived in there are the most similar people to the Native Americans who lived in America. Why? Because as I told you in the story, the last part of the people who are the Native Americans, they were in what? In the four corner region right here. And they stayed inside the alcoves for 100 years. And then after that, they left from that area to go for Mexico. That's why all the remaining people, they are right now in Mexico.
What is this? What is this word?
What is it?
About. About.
What are you talking about?
She erased it.
I think it was about.
I erased it?
Yeah.
Okay, just a minute.
I think it was about or about.
About what, Mala? Can you tell me?
Where are you? Where are you? And at which?
Miss, I'm in 5.
The ancient Pueblo people made coil pots out of clay. You can make a coil pot too. First, knead a chunk of clay so it has no air bubbles. Next, take a piece of the kneaded clay and shape it into a small round flat patty to form the base of the pot. Then take a handful of the clay and roll it between your hands or on a flat surface to form a long, thin coil. When the coil is smooth and even, lay it along the top outer edge of the base, pressing and smoothing the inside of the coil to the base until it is firmly attached. Pressing and smoothing the inside of the coil to the base until it's firmly attached. Continue making and adding coils of clay, pressing each coil onto the coil beneath until your pot is the desired height. Let your clay pot slowly dry to prevent cracking. This is the steps how you make coil pot. And you will make it out of clay. So to make it out of clay, you have to knead it for a long time to remove all the bubbles of air from inside it. And then after that, shape it the shape that you want. Then you will put another clay on it to between your hands on a flat surface to form a long, thin coil. And then lay it along the top outer edge of the base, okay, and try to press all the sides of it, and then put it in a dry place, let it dry, and then you will have your what, your pot clay. Okay, let's go right now for the first process. We have the first step. Who can tell me what is the first step
Me?
that we have to make that one? Yes,
Yes.
yeah, Watin.
Okay, first you need like knit a chunk of clay so it has no
Knead.
air bubbles.
Knead the
Need a
clay.
chunk of a clay so it has no air bubbles.
Excellent. Knead the clay. This is the first step. Okay, and then second thing, what should we do?
Take a piece of clay.
Mm-hmm.
Take a piece of the kneaded clay and shape it into a small rounded flat patty to form a base.
A base of the pot. So flatten a piece of clay to form the base. So
Miss, yours is better. It's
clay.
much better.
What you said is correct.
How can you make it so? How can we make it short? And how can we take the?
Summarize
how
it.
can you know?
You understand the sentence, what is it about, and then make it with your own words. This is how you make it summarized. Okay,
Like for
number 3.
the Pueblo, take the good information.
Okay, we have next, and then what will happen?
Take a piece. No. Then take a handful of the clay and roll it between your hand or on a flat surface to form a long, thin coil.
Excellent. So roll the clay to make a coil. Very good. Number 4.
When the coil is smooth and even, lay it along the top outer edge of the base.
Excellent. So I will say number 4. Attach the coil to the base so you can form a shape that you like. Number 5. What happened next? Continue making and adding,
Continue making and adding coils of clay.
So add
Pressing
more what? Add more coils. This is number 6. Okay, what about number 5? Number 6, the last thing, huh? What to do
Pressing
today?
each coil onto the coil beneath until your foot is the
your
desired
foot
height.
desired height.
To dry. Allow the foot to dry. This is number 6. Easy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, my girls, done?
No, miss.
All of you, Lean, Wateen, Malak.
No, wait, miss, I didn't.
Did you finish?
Yeah, miss.
All of you, Malak, Wateen, Lean.
Yeah, miss, I'm done.
Lean, Malak, done? Lean, can you answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go for the next page right now. Right now is your own exercise. I want you to think with me. Imagine you will teach a friend how to do a new activity, such as playing a board game or jumping rope. Think of a simple activity you enjoy and like. Then fill in the graphic organizer with the title of the activity and 4 key steps you would use to teach the activity. Now imagine you want to play with your friends and you want to play like playing cards or jumping ropes or any type of activity that you like. Which type of activity you like to write about, my girls?
Maybe cooking.
Cooking?
No, not a cooking. I'm asking you, you are with your friend and you want to teach her about activity that you like to play with her, a game يعني. Playing cards, chess, jumping ropes. Jumping ropes?
Jumping rope, okay.
Okay, that's good. So we can say jumping
Hula
rope.
hoop, maybe.
Jumping rope.
Hula hoop.
What?
Miss hula hoop.
Hula hoop?
Can I use?
What is a
Yeah,
hula hoop?
What is hula hoop?
I call it